Assalamualaikum. I am Shakti from Faculty of Education at Sakazi campus, University of Sindh, Jamshoro. Today we will learn essay type test. The topic assigned to me, Professor Dr. Amjad Arain. Concept of essay type test. The word essay has been derived from French word easier, which means to try or to attempt. Essay test is a test that requires the student to structure a letter long written response up to several paragraphs. The certain outcome of learning, organizing, summarizing, integrating ideas and expressing one's way. Essay attempt of choice if you want to unrestricted response and want to assess a higher order thinking. A relationship between ideas and process and considered on particular argument. Form of essay test. Restricted response, controlled response, external response, uncontrolled response. Restricted response type the test limit the examiner's response may be answered the examinee's response in terms of length, content, style, or organization. Example: give an excellent theory reason why the government should or should not allow teachers to work abroad as a domestic helpers. Restricted response essay questions. Restricted response usually limit both the content and the response by restricting the scope of the topic to be discussed. Useful for the measuring learning outcomes requiring interpretation and application of data in a specific area. Example of restricted response. Describe two situations that demonstrate the application of law, supply and demand. Do not use those examples discussed in class. State the main difference between the Vietnam War and various wars in which United States has participated. External response. Question allows students to select information that they think is pertinent to organize the answer in accordance to their best judgment and to integrate evaluate ideas as they think suitable. They do not set limit on the length or exact content to be discussed. Example of external response questions. Compare development international relations, the administration of President William Clinton and President George W. Bush. Set example when possible. Imagine that you are a friend, found a magic wand. Write a story about a very adventure that you and your friend had with a magic wand. Uses of essay type tests. Assess the ability to recall, organize and integrate ideas. Assess the ability to express answer. Writing ability to supply information. Assesses student understanding of subject matter. Measure the knowledge of focus information. Writing essay type attempts. The shorter the answer required given essay attempt, generally the better. More objective can be tested the same period of time. Factors such as verbal fluency, spelling, etc. has of opportunity to influence the creator. Helper examine focus the answer, giving them a starting sentence for their own. Make sure questions are sharply focused on single issues. Advantage of essay test. The freedom or response allow to student express himself in his own words. It measure complex learning outcomes that can not be measured by other means. Essay tests promote problem solving skills. It helps students to improve their writing skills such as writing speed. It encourages creativity, allow by their own unique way. Disadvantage of essay type. Score is not reliable because different examiners can grade the score answer. The different grading of essay test is time consuming. Essay courses do not cover the course conducting. Thank you.